Custom Garage. What we're going to attack next is the cowl. Now, any of you guys that have done Mustangs, you know there's 4 million spot welds between here and the other side and across the bottom. So we're going to get grinding and cutting all these spot welds out. And we're not going to bore you with that because it's going to be here. I'm going to be here a while. But we get all these out and we're going to get this panel off. And I'll take a look at the panel underneath it, which I know is just as bad. So let's get this panel off and then we'll come back with underneath. Okay, so we got the cowl off. I mainly want to take it off in one piece so I can see where the spot welds were. So let's get this thing off. Now that the cowl is off, the cowl vent panel is off, now you can see what the under the panel looks like. And again, this is why they rot. And, you know, the mice get in there and start building the little houses. And this is all destroyed. And that's the good side. So the center's not bad. They do make side patches, but as you can see, it is rusted all the way across to the center. I have a whole panel for it, but like I said, this side is gone. And there was a big nest in here too. In fact, this whole vent box was full of nest. So next we're gonna do is we're gonna unbolt these from the back side. So I'll get underneath the dash, take these off, and then we'll clean up the front of here, and we'll get this panel out. Looks like there's 2 more here too. So we'll have to see where all these things connect to and get these, so these 5, 6, 7, 8 bolts out. And then we'll work on getting this panel off without destroying the firewall. So we'll take our time, we'll grind all the welds, we'll take it off slow. Cowl panels are out. This panel's not bad. The top of the firewall, not so good. We got some holes here and here. It's a little one there and some more over here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a new top, come down about 1/2 inch on the side. And I'm gonna weld it all the way across and make a new top. Okay, we cut 2 pieces of metal with the shear at 2.5 inches. By 30 inches long. The car is 58 wide, so I can make 2 pieces go across the whole top. This is where I have to go across the whole thing. It'll be cut and trimmed to fit the cowl. I want to put a 1/2 inch bend on it. So now we're going to take you over to the brake. Of course, we got to clean it off. Now that's locked down, we'll give it a bend. then we'll do the other one. Now we got 2 pieces with a 90. Now we'll bring it up front and see where we need to start bending them. Now these pieces are going to fit across here. But as you can see, there's a crown here. So I'll need to shrink it, use a stretcher and bend each side down. All right, what I'm trying to do now is fit this on the cowl. So the first piece I started bending, I used a shrinker and down too much. So now I gotta stretch it back out. So we're gonna do the other side, we're gonna shrink the other side first, and then we'll come back and we'll stretch this side back out. All right, I've got it pretty close now, but I gotta do some trimming to get it a little better. Of course, the angle goes past the end, so I'm gonna cut the edge off so it sits down flat. I'm gonna trim this back so it fits in here. So first thing is cut this so it fits. So. Now I've marked the center line. That's where that's supposed to be. Okay, what I did was took the angles, put them in my shrinker stretcher, and gave them a nice little arc. Now it's pretty close. You can see right here that the edge of the original is right there. And what I did on the other side was I ground it down till it was even with the original all the way across. I gave it all the bumps and divots that the factory had. And I'm gonna do the same thing to this side. This is just a rough cut, got it close, and I'm gonna grind it down till it's the right size. And we'll get all this top to fit just like the original would have. This piece is ready to weld. Problem we have is it's on top here and here. So a cutting butt wouldn't really help me because it'd be too high or it'd be too far back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this here. I'm gonna cut it all the way across, and I'm gonna set it where I want it to be, and then we're gonna weld it back up. So let me get this thing cut. I've already marked it with a marker. I'm gonna cut it off, then I'll show you what we're gonna do. There you have it. The top is cut to that point. Now what I'm gonna do, whoops, we're gonna put this in so it's exactly even with that one. And then it'll get welded down here. And we'll weld it right on. I ground it down, get the seam nice and perfect. And we'll weld it all the way along on both sides. And we should be good up here. Get rid of all that rot. So let me set you up and we'll get some welding going. Okay, now we're ready to weld. Got a new tip on there, needed a new one, so we got that going. I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna tack it on the corner, and then everywhere that it's touching straight, I'm gonna tack it. And then I'm gonna come back and push it either way to get it to be flush and flat on both sides. So we're just gonna tack it slowly, work our way around. Okay, let's take a look. Now it looks factory on top. I put 2 holes in, and in here, as you can see, nice and close there. It's all nice and flush. All I gotta do is weld it. So we're gonna do the other side now the same way, and then we'll weld it all up. I tacked this side on, double tacked in the center, tacked along every 6 inches or so. What I'm gonna do now is put the cowl panel on, and we're gonna test fit the fenders, make sure that the cowl and the fender are the same height. So a lot of times, you know, if you don't have the exact measurements, test fit things, make sure things fit together nice. So we set the fenders on. They're laying on top of this very nicely. Laying on that side fine. Gap looks pretty good to me. Say it's a little low on this corner. We'll just give this fender's got a dent right here. So we're just gonna we'll bring that out when we straighten the fender. Otherwise, this side looks good. This side will slide it up, and nice gap on that also. So we're in good shape with the cowl. Cowl's clipped in up there. Gonna put some more clamps on it along the edge here, but the cowl's fine. So tonight we're gonna finish welding up that panel underneath. So take the cowl panel back off, take the fenders back off, and spend the next hour or so, I guess, welding. So we'll get that thing welded, then we'll come back. There it is. So I left most of the weld on the back. There's no need to take it off. You're not going to see it once the cowl's on. And it adds a little strength to the weld. So this will all get seam sealed anyway. So I'll run seam sealer from the bottom right around to it. But there's a new upper firewall made. I'll dress it up on the back side here. We'll clean all that up nice. And that's what you're gonna see when you look at it. You're not gonna see the back side, so we'll leave the weld on it. So next we're gonna have to attack this little crusty piece here. So we'll make this piece, and there's some rust on that side. Can't really see it from here, but it's there. See if I can get a close up. Yeah, right in there. Right below, you can just see through it a little. So we're gonna cut a piece out of there and replace that piece also. So there's a piece there. Oh, there's a piece here. Another piece on here. We're just going to fix all these little raggedy edges before we put the cowl on. And I want to clean up all inside of here before I put the cowl on, make it a lot easier to get to. So we still got some things to do before we get the cowl on. But we're going to keep going on it. So I made this top piece. Pretty simple, just bent it over, cut it, welded it onto where the rust is. I want to show you that this is the back side of the weld. So obviously plenty of penetration. I'm going to grind this side flat, fill any spots I need to from there. Because I say like there's a small hole right there I can see through. But that's the back side. The front side of the welds are over here. I'll just make those flat, but not worry about getting rid of them, keeping them there for strength. But this side will clean up nice, and this piece will be done. And then what I'm gonna do next, we're gonna make this one piece here to finish off the A-pillar. Gonna finish welding the inside. Then I'm gonna put the wheels back on it, and I'm gonna sandblast the inside of all of this while it's easy to get to. Once it's all sandblasted, everything's clean, I will do any other work that needs to be done in there, but that'll all be, at least, that'll be done. Because trying to clean all that when the car's with the cowl on will be hard. So that's what we're gonna do. So these processes take time. We just keep plugging away at it a little at a time. And we'll get it done. Okay, this is all cleaned up, ready to go. Next we're gonna do is the tops of these aprons, both sides. That side needs one, this side needs one. We're just gonna clean up, get rid of all this. We're gonna retain the circle because that's a point for this. These line back right back over the holes. So we wanna make sure that that is still there to retain the proper location. So I'm gonna cut both these out and get these repaired. So this apron is repaired, and so is that one. Next I want to do, I put the old A-pillar piece that comes down in place. I put it back in shape, pretty close to where it needs to stay. And first we're going to repair is this. And what I've made is a small patch that'll go right in there. We'll tack it, we'll cut and give it a cut and butt, and this piece will go right back where the original was, and then we'll just trim the edge to make it the same. So this is the next piece we're going to put in, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, so there's part one of the puzzle. New piece welded in, ground down. Now that's secure. Say next I'll do this corner from here to here, and then do this last one. Now, doing these complex pieces like this, just do one section at a time. The next section I do will be from this line here to here. And just do it one piece at a time. And when this is fixed, I can do the last piece. And then we'll be done with this section. We'll weld it in place and move on. So there you have it. Basically about 5 pieces. This piece was 1 and 2. This piece together was 3. I had to cut a V out to relieve the pressure so I could bend it that way. It's hard to see, that way. Because this was sticking out here to make it bend over. I had to open this up. So I did that, welded it here, dressed it all up, and then there's a patch here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces to make it. But look, it's in there nice and tight. There's not even a clamp on it. And it fits right in there good. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna prep it up. We're gonna drill some holes in it here and here, here and here, along the edge here, so that this thing can get welded in. And once that's welded in, we'll be in good shape with this. Everything else is in good shape up here. So the car's outside now. We welded up the floor, welded up a patch on the front of the floor. What I want to do now is sandblast the inside of here. Before I put the cowl panel on, it'd be a lot easier to do it now, so we're gonna do it now. And then we're gonna go back and see if there's any spots that need to get repaired once we've blasted. And we'll hit those, otherwise everything else is looking good. So let's get this thing blasted. There you go, all blasted nice and pretty. Windy out here. Still got a little spot here that's gonna need some repair. So we're gonna make a patch for that, and then we should be in good shape. So we're gonna get that done, and then we're gonna work on the cowl. So the journey continues. There's a first patch I'm going to use. I'm going to put this patch in to cover that rust. Then I'm going to put another one up above it to cover that. Actually, we're not covering it. We're going to cut it out and do it right. So we got that piece welded in, and I decided to make all the other patches for the firewall. There's one there, one here, that's 2. This one here makes 3. There's one over there, that's 4. And then there's one on the side for 5. So it's late, we can't, of course, stop welding about 20 minutes before I call it a night, but those will all have to get welded in tomorrow, and then we should be in good shape. I really wish it was going a little faster, but you know, this is the structural part. This is the slow and tedious part. Once this is done, we should be able to move through the bodywork a lot quicker. So tomorrow night we'll attack the rest of the welding on here. And we should be done with that anyway. So we got to cut all of these little panels. We'll do cutting butts on all of this stuff. So it takes time, but it's the right way to do it. So we're going to get her done. After hours and hours of grinding, I think we're good. All the patches are all ground down. Like I said, I like to leave a little bit of weld on the inside edge so that it's all going to be solid. The outside here, before I put the cowl on, I primed. So that's all drying right now. So just some spray can primer. Better than nothing. That's my theory on that. Before I put all these panels together, this is what I like to do. Some of it will get burned off when I weld, and you know, so be it. But overall, it's what I like to do. And honestly, there's a lot of patches in this floor. Once I blasted it, there was a lot more holes than I would like to saw. But, you know, hindsight, yeah, I probably could have put a whole firewall section in. But, you know, on a budget, you got to kind of do what you got to do. It's solid now. It's 18 gauge steel. It's not going to go anywhere. And it's not rusted. So we're going to let this primer here dry. And we're going to start prepping the cowl to go on. Well, this worked really good on these holes, not so much on the double panels. So we'll have to drill out all of these and all the way across here and get this thing prepped. Okay, so we drilled out the tops. Now what we're going to do is deburr the bottoms. So when you drill through, it leaves little burrs on this side, so we're going to clean those up. So I brought it to work. There's a spot welder here and here. Does a beautiful weld. I wish I had one of these at home. It'd make life so much better. But, yep, now we got all these holes. Put this on the cowl. It should be dry by now. So this is all dry. Put the cowl on here. And we'll probably weld it in the next video. Say this one here, we think we just about run out of time to get this thing out for Friday. So that's about as far as we're going to go. So next video, we'll get the cowl put in. Get the seat base put in. And get this all cleaned up in here. Get everything ground down and get the inside finished. So that'll be the next video on this car. The next actual video, I'll probably be doing one of the other cars. We'll take a break off this again for a little bit. But one way or the other, we'll be doing one of these cars. But for now, there you go. If you got this far, please hit the like, subscribe, leave a comment, share with your friends. Trying to get this channel to grow. It's doing really well. I'm happy with it so far, and we'll keep working on this and working on the others. So, if you like what you see, let's hit that like button. It really helps the channel. Thank you very much, and we'll catch you on the next one.